There was a time when I thought my world was over. And it was just starting. It was just starting. And it was 29 years ago tomorrow. So 29 years ago tomorrow, I started comedy. You know, I did something that I never thought I would do. It was a changing of the guard. It was, I was at the crossroads. I had a job. It paid me good money. I had a truck. I had a fucking cell phone. I had a cush job. I could, you know me. I still woke up at 6 and did the whole thing. But if I was a regular guy, I could get there at 11 and measure some roofs. Not me. I got up at 6 and went down there and helped with the roofing, the supplies, and I went and did my bids and all this shit. I had it. But one day I thought about it, and I'm like, this is it. This is it till I'm 65. Then they give me a gold watch for being the estimator of the year. This is what I live for. This is what my mother for. There's got to be more. There's got to be more. 29 years ago, yesterday, this is where I was. Right now, I was probably biting my fingers right now, thinking about stand-up, how I was going to fucking fail, how this was going to be embarrassing, who the fuck was I? I had the worst thoughts going through my head, which are the same thoughts I got going through my head when I get on stage now. Who the fuck do I think I am? I'm a bum. Why am I even going down there? And I got to laugh at me. And I got off that fucking stage, and the owner of the club said, great job. You had great stage presence. And people spoke to me, and next thing you know, people were shaking my hand. I was talking to different people, and I felt like fucking Karen at the wedding, at the Goodfellas wedding. Remember, she was overwhelmed. There was so many Peters and Paulies in the room. I didn't know what the fuck was going on, you know? I mean, the next thing you know, I'm driving home with this woman who was my wife at the time, and I'm thinking, how am I going to do this for a living? How am I going to do this for a living? 29 years ago, tomorrow, 29 years ago right now, I was probably biting my fucking nails, pissing my fucking pants, crying like a pussy, guys. Can you believe that? That on this night, 29 years ago, I wish I could actually remember what I was doing, but if you know anything about me, I was probably having beginnings of anxiety. I didn't think I was doing coke. When I got into comedy, I really took it seriously. I did coke months later. Once my wife left, there was no reason not to do coke, you know what I'm saying? Now I got the whole house to myself. I could crawl. I could play John Rambo. I could look out windows. But when I got into comedy, I was pretty serious. I think I was just smoking dope. Because I had just gotten off pissing in a bottle. And something happened. Like, I was like, you know what? If I had picked up all this responsibility at work, so I was getting high like maybe once a week. It wasn't like, so I was still focused. You know, I had a baby daughter at the time. She was 1.5 years. I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I thought I was just going to go down there and get on stage and go home. That's what I really thought, that they were going to boo me. I was going to get hit with a tomato, and I was going to go back to roofing the next day. And I got off that stage and fucking, you know, I think for 2 hours, I just sat there with my mouth open. And my body felt like it had never felt before. No drug could ever match that feeling after I got on stage the first time.
Well, to me, it sounds like a lot like what you're talking about is happening now, happened to you a few years from this point when you got kicked out of Denver and you had to make the choice to leave.
Yeah.
Because all of your opportunity was taken from you.
I still had, here's the thing. Listen, guys. Nobody should ever give you an invite to leave. If you're smart enough, you read it and you go. You know, I had a situation that I knew I had to get rid of something in December, and I woke up January 21st and I got rid of that person. I loved that person dearly, but I just couldn't work with them anymore. I had to get rid of them, and I knew it for a while. What was your question?
Just about how it's similar now to when you left Denver.
When I left Denver, I got thrown out of the Comedy Works, but I still had McKelvey's, I still had Wits End, and Tribble had a run there. And Jimmy Abeda had 4 or 5 rooms that paid, and the other guy had 2 or 3 weeks of paid work. I had work there. I can't say I had tons of work there. I had work there. But again, even then, I was letting God control my life without knowing. I let it follow. I mean, I went to fucking Michigan to do, like in May of Memorial Day weekend, I drove to Michigan to do my first feature spot at a club. Like, it was like a co-MC spot. Like, I opened up the show, but I did 20 minutes.
Right.
And I did well. I was really in shock. And I met a girl, and then she came back. So in the process, in 95 wasn't a good year for me. I was in a position where I was spinning my wheels. I was doing great work as a comic. As a comic, I was doing great fucking work. But everything else in my life was shit. I was waiting around for receipts outside Kmart. You know, what the fuck is that? What type of human being does that? You know, I was just returning shit. I would sell drugs. I would sell Valium then. I had a Valium guy that worked at Lincoln Mercury. He would give it to me by the 1,000.
What?
1,000 Valiums for 25 cents. I would sell them for $2. The profit margin was phenomenal. Phenomenal. I always had pocket money. When you sell 10 Valiums for fucking whatever, $20, and they cost you 2, are you fucking retarded?
That's pretty crazy.
$2.50, and I made $17.50 or something like that. So I would sell that. That was my little spare change. And I'm doing fucking comedy, you know. That was my life. And the only reason I was in Boulder was for one thing, to be a father, and they didn't want me to be her father. They didn't want me to be her father. And on the other end, I didn't deserve to be a father. So I planned it out. I met that girl. She came and got me. She stayed with me for a week in Boulder. And then she went to Seattle. And I left to Seattle maybe a week and a half later. I never looked back.
When she offered you to go, did any part of you hold back, or were you making the right decision? Yeah.
Sure, I held back. I had a daughter there. I had roots there. I had been there for 12 years. I did my time.
You were there for 12 years? Wow.
I was in Boulder from 90. I was in Boulder from 86 to 95. But I was in Colorado total from 83 to 95, 12 years. I was in Boulder from 86. I hit Boulder November of 86.
Yeah, that's a long time.